Yeah, this is Bang Bang Radio. Years ago, what, in the 66, 67, when I was boxing for London Transport at that time, I went down to a place called the Polytechnic. I'm sure it was the Polytechnic. It's the only one I can think about. That I can think of, sorry. I fought a big guy. There was a guy standing in front of me when we went to see the doctor, and it was a guy called Stan McDermott, yeah? And big Stan McDermott is about, well, I suppose, 6'4", 6'3" then. What is he? I don't know. He must have been a bit older than me, maybe. I don't know, or same age as me. Good heavyweight, but it's southpaw. I wasn't told it was a southpaw, and got in the ring. I've never sparred with a southpaw before. I've never fought with southpaw before, and got in the ring. And I think he stopped me in the second round. In them days, you get knocked down, and you stay down for the count of 8. The referee just stops the fight, yeah? I stayed down for the count of 8. I was told to stay down by my trainer, George William, and the ref stopped it. We went a bit crazy about it, but we still stopped, yeah? And he went into the pro game, become quite a good professional fighter, Stan McDermott. His son fought Tyson Fury. And I believe, as it goes, I'm not quite sure, he beat Tyson Fury. And then Tyson Fury had another fight which he beat him. Whether or not it's true, I don't know, but people on my comments will tell me. But Cliff Fields, what I liked about Cliff, yeah, sometimes me, Jimmy Tibbett, we'd sit down, maybe have a bit of breakfast somewhere, maybe Deptford, Catford, all around them areas, yeah, because that's where we was working for Eddie Richardson, all around them sort of places. We sit down and have a talk with Cliff, and I like Cliff. He was, very slow. He wasn't a flash talking guy, very slow talking guy. And he was just telling me about Stan McDermott. He didn't say whether he beat him or he beat Cliff. He didn't say nothing like that. But what he did say was a big man, a big, powerful, strong man that can bang. Yeah. Well, I knew that. I mean, his son, his dad stopped me. Sorry, I'm getting all confused there. Sorry, Stan McDermott. He stopped me as an amateur. Yeah. A good amateur. It's crazy, isn't it? If I'd have turned pro at that time, I'd have met him, John O'Gardner. I'd have met Cliff Fields and all them sort of people, you know. But I didn't. I got involved with criminality, armed robberies, GBHs, attempted murders, and all that sort of thing, you know. And got put away for quite a long time in prison. But I love talking to Cliff Fields about Stan McDermott, because Stan McDermott, what it is, when I finish this, on my thumbnail, I'm going to put what you call it? Do you know what? First thing in the morning, yeah. First thing in the morning, I'm going to put a boxing thing up to show you when Cliff Fields was going to fight Stan McDermott. Whether or not he did, I don't know. People out there might know. Tell me who won the fight, yeah. But it's good, isn't it? I like it. You know what I mean? When I see it, I thought, God, like bring back memories, yeah. But to sit down and talk to Cliff about Stan McDermott. When he told me he fought Stan McDermott, I went, "Oh, joking." I said, "Yeah," but he didn't tell me what happened. He wasn't a flash guy, Cliff. He wasn't flash. He didn't really say too much. But he did tell me about Billy Ed. When Billy Ed became British and European Commonwealth champion, I think Billy Ed stopped him twice. I believe stopped Cliff Fields twice, maybe with cut eyes, I don't know, TKO, I'm technical knockout, I'm not quite sure, but I think he boxed Cliff Fields twice and stopped him twice. But I was sparring with Billy Ed down Haverslock Hill with Noble, and you know, Billy Ed taught me a lot. But he was a southpaw. I mean, I'd fought Stan McDermott by then, but he was a southpaw, Billy Ed. He taught me a lot, Billy Ed, good fighter, mate, Bill. And I really liked him. And I used to go down to the Lille, and just off Jamaican Road, and go in his pub and talk to Bill, me and Peter Kelly. And it's nice, isn't it, when you spar with someone, be British, European, Commonwealth champion, you know, you're talking to him, it's nice. I like Billy Ed, proper guy, mate. And Cliff Fields, when I was to talk to him about Roy Shaw, he was just telling me, he was talking to Roy Shaw, and you know, Roy Shaw told him told him to his face, he said, look, I can't fight you, Cliff. You know, you're too big, too powerful. Look what you've done to Lenny. You annihilated Lenny in no time at all, you know. He said, no, I couldn't fight you. And no disrespect to Roy Shaw, you know, but Roy Shaw really was a middleweight, you know, a middleweight blowing up to a heavyweight in one way or the other. But he didn't want to fight Cliff Fields. But he was telling me about Lenny McLean, Cliff. He just said that Lenny was tough, strong man, but he said Lenny couldn't punch. He told me straight. I mean, he said that Lenny couldn't punch. I mean, you got to remember, Cliff Field was a hard, powerful man that could take a bang on the chin, yeah? I mean, so many people hit him on the chin, knocked him out, you know, might cut his eye or something like that, yeah? And but he said Lenny McLean couldn't bang. He said he just couldn't bang, mate. Well, I was to spar with Lenny. I sparred Lenny down the ring, Vic Andretti's pub. But as I say, I didn't think Lenny could fight, could bang, but consistently, obviously, consistently, it's different kettle of fish. But Cliff Field said, no, Lenny couldn't bang. He said, but, you know, he said, there's no way in a million years that he hurt me in any shape or form. He said it was quite easy. It was a walkthrough, really, to beat him. He said one of the hardest fighters that he knew, light heavyweight. I don't know. He never said that he fought Johnny Waldron. He never told me that he fought Johnny Waldron. But what he did say is that Johnny Waldron was a good fighter. That Johnny Waldron was a perfect fighter. Was a proper fighter. He said he beat Lenny twice. He beat Lenny twice. I'm not minding Lenny down because I thought Lenny was a proper man. He was proper. Lenny was a hard man on the pavement. Yeah. He had a lot of respect from people. A lot of people say I was a bully. People do say that people are bullies when they can't handle them, you know what I mean, when they can't control them, yeah? But Lenny didn't let no one control him, he controlled them. He was a hard man. I mean, look at what he done to Mickey Theo. Mickey Theo said he'd done a few rounds of him and he smashed him. And Lenny McLean smashed him all around the gaff. Well, Mickey Theo, I don't think was a fighter, was a boxer. Anyway, might have been all right as a doorman, but couldn't fight in the ring. I see him sparring. It was terrible. You know what I mean? But you know, at least he still got in the ring and sparred. He's done a lot of bag work, pad work, and all that. You know, but he didn't look like he could ever go nowhere anyway. But yeah, he did try, and a fair play to him. He was going to fight Tyson Fury's Johnny Fury. He was going to fight him. He never come off though. He never come off. Anyway, when Cliff, me, like, do you know, like when you're sitting down, when I used to sit down with Cliff, yeah, and talk to him, you know, and look at him, and you know, look at his face, you know, and he's got lots of cuts on see the tissues on his eyes where he's been cut, you know. And it's just a shame that sometimes you look at people and you think, you know, how far would you have gone as a pro? I mean, I don't think he'll be John or Gardner. I don't think he'll be John. I don't know. I don't think so. John O'Gardner was similar style to Cliff Fields, but John O'Gardner was a different ball game altogether. But Cliff Fields did say that he thinks he'll beat John O'Gardner, but I don't think he'll beat John personally. Everybody else on this unlicensed fighting, I think he was the governor, Cliff, without a shadow of doubt. I think the only other person that was the governor on there was Johnny Waldron. Without a shadow of doubt, Johnny Waldron was the governor out of there. And I mean, me and Jimmy Tibbet, when we used to muck about with Cliff, like go around mucking about the streets and throw punches at him and all that, it was, you knew you got a cut. You knew if you go, you know what I mean? But I loved him, man. It's a shame that he went the way he did. And when I see the pictures of him in the calf, about 11 stone, not even that, mate, could have been 10 stone, it broke my heart, yeah? It broke my heart to see a big, powerful, strong man that can really have it, yeah? That wasn't afraid of no man. Again, I would say that Lou Yates disrespected Cliff Fields by saying that he turned his back on him. He wouldn't turn his back on anybody, mate. Even Guy the Gooder, he wouldn't turn his back on him, mate. He would fight anybody. anybody. So Lou, you know, I think you got it wrong, mate. Maybe you're thinking about someone else. You definitely ain't thinking about Cliff Fields. We all say things we don't mean to say. Maybe you did say that, not even thinking straight. But again, I'm going to put that on my thumbnail, you know, and let you see it. And it's proper, mate. You know, it's proper. I loved seeing Stan McDermott. You know, and he fought Cliff Fields, or he didn't fight Cliff Fields, but it was on to fight. But whether or not he did is another thing. But it just guts me really that I wasn't there as a pro. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's what it is. Sometimes you go down the wrong road. You think that's the right road, and it's the wrong road. Yeah. A lot of people out there, kids out there. If you're any good at football, boxing, tennis, cricket, anything like that, stick to it. Yeah. Stick to it, you never know. Yeah, it's all you need is a break. You need one break, mate. You need one person to see you, and you're going to go forward. Especially today, especially if you're a good football player, you're going to earn fortunes. You know what I mean? Tennis player, you know, not so much cricket, but tennis and football and boxing. If you're any good, you're going to earn a fortune. Any sport really that you want to get into it. Forget about anything else. Forget about going out hurting people. Forget about, you know, listen, I understand. We all understand. Kids have got lots of testosterone in them. We understand that everybody needs money. It's very hard to come by today, money. Boxing is about sponsorship as an amateur. If you're good at it, you will get sponsorship, or you could look for sponsorship, yeah? You must look for it and get it, yeah? As I said, John O'Gardner, when we was all amateurs, and I was going down the pro gym, Haverstock Hill, he had maybe 4 or 5 sponsors. And if you've got sponsors with you to sponsor you, you ain't got to work. They're looking after you while you're training. You know, and that's what boxing's about. As an amateur, getting the sponsorship to people behind you. Even as a pro, people to sponsor you, so you don't have to work. You know, because if you're working 5-6 days a week and you've got a family, it's hard to train. It's hard to train. Getting up in the morning at 4 or 5 o'clock, running 8-9 miles, coming back, you know, and then getting ready to work, then going home and going down the gym. It's virtually impossible, you know. So to be a good pro, most of them good pros have got good sponsorship. Believe me, they have, you know. And John O'Gardner was one of them pros, mate, that had good sponsorship. And in a way, I was a little bit jealous. Maybe they didn't look at me as good as John O'Gardner. But, you know, what can I say? But, you know, there's a few fighters, there's a few trainers that did look at me like that, as it happens. You know, but, you know, that's life, isn't it? And anyway, please press the like button and subscribe. And don't forget, out there, if you're good at something, stick to it and train for it, yeah? Bye-bye.